All right, so we're going to go ahead and discuss how to set up your Mac. Now that you've got it in front of you, you're probably going to want to change some of the settings, and you're probably going to want to go ahead and create a user account for yourself. So I'm going to show you a couple of shortcuts and a couple of different ways to get around the computer. My personal favorite way to get around is to use what is called Spotlight. Spotlight is a keyboard shortcut search in Mac. And so if you press the command key, and then while pressing the command key, press spacebar, you will see up here how it opens up this search engine, this like computer search. And I have QU up here because I used it to open up QuickTime, which I'm using to create this recording right now. So if I back away from that, all I have to do to get into the system settings of the Mac is to type SYS, and it'll come up with system preferences. Right there's the top hit, and so I'll immediately, since it's already highlighted, I just hit enter. So again, it's command spacebar and then SYS enter, and it opens up your system preferences pane right here. So now that you're here, we can go ahead and we will create a user account for you. So if you come down here to where it says system, and then you click users and groups, it will bring you up here to the user creation screen, I guess it could be called. So what we're going to do, I need to unlock this on here, type in my password because I have all my administrator privileges turned off on here. So what I'm going to do now that this is unlocked, you'll notice that these couple of icons down here are highlighted. So if you click on the plus icon, it will allow you to create a new account. So you're just going to create a standard account. You need to put your full name in, so I'll create an account for my wife. So Jessica Hammer, and then you can change the account name. So we'll just title it Jess, and then if she wanted to put a password on here, she could, but we are not going to put passwords on our account. That's one thing that I would have to keep track of. That's just kind of not necessary. You're really going to be the only user that's going to be using your particular account. The other people in the other classes will have their own. So I'm just going to leave this blank. I'm going to leave the verify blank and the password hint blank, and I'm going to create a user. Now, you did not enter a password for this user account. Are you sure you want to do this? You're going to go ahead and you're going to click OK. And then what it's going to do is it will create an account. Automatic login is turned on. Do you want to turn it off? That's probably something that won't pop up on yours, but we're going to turn automatic login off. So here's my wife's basic user preferences panel right here. So you can come in. If you click on the little picture right here, you can change your icon. Jaguar's kind of cool since we are Jaguars, but you can kind of scroll through them and pick something that you like. You can also upload your own picture if you want. You can use the camera to take one of yourself. So there I am. Hey, how's it going? So I'll just leave it as a butterfly for her. So now if I logged out and then logged back in under her account, or as you guys are going to do, you're going to log out of this admin account and then you're going to log into your own, you'll have to open up the system preferences again. So it's nice and easy to use the Spotlight search, or you can come down here and it's the little box of gears down here on what is called the dock. This is called the dock on OS X. So once you have system preferences open, we'll go back, we'll show everything. You're probably going to want to change some of the settings for your trackpad. Mac is kind of different than PC with the way that they have everything set up. And so their trackpad just has one button on it, but it's a multi-touch interface, just like your all's iPads are, just like iPhones are. You can have more than one input on the device. So if you click on the trackpad option right here, it's probably going to start out at the point and click one, and a lot of these things might not be highlighted. So what I would do is I would turn on tap to click, and basically what this is this means that you don't have to fully depress the mouse button to select something. And the cool thing about it is that everything that you highlight, it will create this little video over here that shows you what that particular gesture will do. So a secondary click, which on like a PC would be a right click, on a Mac you can do with 2 fingers. So if I come out here into my Finder window and I tap with 2 fingers, it brings up basically what would be a right click option. I also have this one turned on. This is the look up option. So it's really cool if you highlight some text with this. It'll pull up a dictionary, you can search things. I don't have the 3-finger drag turned on just because it's just not something that I use. And then you've got your tracking speed as well. But I would definitely turn on tap to click, and I would definitely turn on secondary click. Look up is just, I don't know, it might have already been selected. But if you go over to the next one, scroll and zoom. Scroll and zoom right here, directional. If you move 2 fingers on the trackpad without depressing it up and down, it will scroll through a web browser. Zoom in or out. So if you need to zoom in on something, you can use 2 fingers just like you would on your iPad or your iPhone. Smart zoom is the same thing as it is on the iPad or the iPhone. You double tap and it will zoom in on something. And then rotate's pretty cool because you can actually rotate items in your screen with 2 fingers just by twisting. And then you come to the more gestures. And these are probably the gestures that I use the most. Swipe between pages. This is kind of like your forward and your back on your web browser. So if you use 2 fingers and you go side to side, you can go forward or backward through your browsing history. I also use this one a lot as well because a lot of the apps that I use that are Apple native apps will go to full screen. And so to scroll between full screen apps, I can use a 3-finger swipe. So I can scroll over to my web browser, I can scroll over to my mail, back to the web browser, back to the Finder, and it's just a really quick and easy way. Notification Center, this is something you guys probably aren't going to use that much, but I get a lot of news updates, I get a lot of email updates, and it automatically shows them in my Notification Center, which is this right up here. And so it's really quick and easy to swipe my notifications into whatever screen I'm viewing. And mission control is really cool too because it'll basically allow you, if I do mission control and swipe up with 3 fingers, you'll see that it shows the current window that I'm in right now. And it also shows my dashboard, which I have a lot of little sticky notes on, my web browser, and then my mail app as well. So if I wanted to go back to the web browser, I can just simply click on that in mission control. And then if I want to go back to the Finder window, I can either swipe up for mission control and go to the desktop, or I could have used the 3-finger slide. Expose is something kind of similar. I don't really use it. But Launchpad is pretty cool. If I swipe with 3 fingers and my thumb, it brings up a screen that looks just like your iPad screen. And so you can kind of swipe with 2 fingers through this. And if I need to get back, it's just 3 fingers spread apart, and it'll take me back to the other window. And so this very last one is the show desktop. So if I spread with 3 fingers and or spread with a thumb and 3 fingers from any normal view, it will hide everything in view and show the desktop. So I could come out here and I could click on my hard drive. I could click on my folder that has all of the stuff that was on my desktop a couple of minutes ago. And then if I swipe them back together, it brings me back to the current screen. So those are some of the trackpad settings that I would definitely encourage you guys to turn on. Something else, you'll notice that on your computers right now, your dock might be visible at the bottom of the screen. When I'm working in a program like Photoshop or Illustrator, I really have a tendency to want as much real estate on my screen as absolutely possible. So I will always turn on the hiding on my dock. I turn magnification on, and then automatically hide and show dock is always checked. You really don't need any of these other things checked on here. But automatically hide and show basically means when the mouse scrolls down there, the dock pops up. When the mouse scrolls away, the dock goes away. So these are just some of the basic settings that I would encourage you guys to turn on, play around with, and then get familiar with the Mac OS. All right, take it easy.